I am Reneth of the Vortali Covenant, ambassador of the Fifth Dawn, and the one who witnessed humanity's return. We thought they were gone, obliterated, extinct. The Terrans had vanished 20 millennia ago, their transmission ceasing, their colonies turning to ruins. Their strange, volatile species had once burned to the stars like a solar flare, brilliant, chaotic, and short-lived. But then the ghost ship came. It emerged from the Shroud Nebula, a region no sane vessel dared enter. A derelict fortress the size of a small moon, silhouetted against the pale light of a dying star, drifting silently on momentum alone. Its name was engraved in old Terran script, barely decipherable even to our historians. Silent Judgment. We didn't detect any signals. No life support. No power signatures. Just a cold, silent hulk from a dead empire. Curious and foolish, we brought aboard the Archonclave station for study. That was when everything began to change. At first, it was just data. The ship's architecture was impossible. Its hull was composed of a dense molecular weave resistant to scans. The design was asymmetrical, brutalist, almost primitive, and yet beautiful in its terrifying logic. And then it woke up, not with power, not with systems rebooting, but with a presence. I don't speak in metaphors. There was a pressure in the air, something watching us. Even the Vanari, who communicate in phenomenal fractals, stopped emitting entirely. The silicate priests began carving wards into the floors. Our own AI interfaces started glitching with patterns we couldn't trace. And in my dreams, I began to see them. Humans, not flesh and blood, not the soft, organic bipeds from history screens. These were something else. Pale echoes in steel bodies, souls wrapped in quantum fire, memories that screamed across time. I remember standing in the observation chamber, staring at its silhouette. Judgment awaits, the Station 6 whispered to me, but I hadn't given it a prompt. We attempted to disconnect from the ghost ship. Its anchors were cut. It didn't move. Then the lights flickered, and every display across the station began streaming Terran code. Binary, hex, DNA strands, star charts, names, thousands of names. They were remembering. The ghost ship wasn't empty. It was full of them, or what was left of them. Stored consciousness, archived minds. 1 billion souls digitized into cold storage. Warriors, poets, tyrants, children, explorers, frozen in a steel arc adrift for eons, waiting. The Vortali Council convened. Panic spread to the upper echelons. Was this a weapon? A message? A resurrection? Theorists speculated it was a remnant of the last Terran War, the one that supposedly devoured half the Perseus arm. Others claimed it was punishment, that humanity had built a coffin not for their enemies, but for themselves. The debates ended when the ship spoke. It did not use words. It used emotion, a frequency that bypassed the ears and struck the soul. Despair, loneliness, rage, not at others, at themselves. Humanity had not been destroyed by aliens or time. They had chosen to disappear, to sleep, to abandon the stars, because they feared what they had become. I stood alone in the lower deck's one rotation, unable to sleep. The pressure had returned, thick like molasses in my lungs. A panel on the ship slid open. No command, no invitation, just a choice. I stepped inside. The chamber was black glass. Stars wheeled around me like I had stepped outside time itself. And then a voice, clear, calm, human, spoke. You've come far, Reneth, as we once did. Are you afraid? Yes, I said. Good, it replied. And I saw them. Not bodies, not ghosts. Simulations with will. One stepped forward, wearing armor made of light and obsidian. Her eyes were galaxies. Her voice, thunder and calm. We are humanity. We were broken. We burned. We buried ourselves in silence so the galaxy could heal. I tried to speak, but my thoughts were exposed before my tongue moved. Why return? Because it's time to remember. The ship left that day. It didn't burn fuel. It didn't fold space. It simply vanished. A week later, reports came flooding in. Derelict human outposts across forgotten systems flickering to life. Ancient satellites broadcasting encoded lullabies. Forgotten colonies suddenly shielded by unknown forces. And then, Terra, the birthplace, long considered a myth, lost in radiation and black holes. It blinked into every known comnet in the galaxy. One signal, one phrase. We are awake. Now the empires tremble. The Soriad warlords offer tribute. The core alliances gather fleets. The Zenthari burn ancient treaties. But I do not tremble, because I saw them. I spoke with them, and I understood. Humanity does not return to conquer. They return to warn, because something older follows them. Something worse. Something that broke them once. And now that they're awake again, they plan to finish what they started.